Hello, everyone. My name is Myrna Ortiz, and this is my ID model presentation that I have created about team-based learning. The history of team-based learning. Team-based learning was created by Larry K. Milkinson. He developed team-based learning, which is a comprehensive small group based on instructional processes that is now being used in over 100 and 200 campuses in the US and foreign countries. It began in 1979 when Larry Milkinson found that his class size had been tripled from 40 to 128 students. He struggled to trying to get his class to interact with him. He made sure that students came prepared to class and learned from each other. Students were tested individually and then in teams. He later realized that students were actively discussing more in groups, and he figured out that this structured problem-solving method for in-class activities really helped to engage students in content and learning. This is a quote from Larry Milkinson. The primary learning objective in TBL is to go beyond simply covering content and focus on ensuring that students have the opportunity to practice using course concepts to solve problems. Team-based learning is designed to provide students with both conceptual and procedural knowledge. And these are just some of the most well-known books that Larry Milkinson has published and educators use today. Team-based learning is designed around units of instruction known as modules, which are taught in a three-step cycle. One is preparation, two is in-class readiness assurance testing, known as RAT, and three, application-focused exercises. And this is the 4S framework that Larry Milkinson used for classroom activities, which stands for significant problem, the same problem, specific choices, and simultaneously report. The first article that I found about my ID model is about pharmacy medical students. By using team-based learning in their study, they noticed the design process to assess whether students worked well as a team and used team-based learning activities, which did favor over lectures. The article explained the study about 26 first-year pharmacy and 90 biomedical students in the UK. Student engagement improved their thinking skills as medical students. Quantitative data was used in the study as well as descriptive statistics. This article focused on learning about the negative stigma that accounting students have on teamwork. It aimed on trying to change the stereotypical narrative that students have towards accounting. Team-based learning is used in accounting classes because it demonstrated constructivist learning theories and student collaboration. It is important to note that team-based learning allows students to work well in teams, and in this study, it did indicate that compared to a control sample, team-based learning experience helped attitudes towards accounting students, and it helped their overall knowledge in the class to work well as a team. This next article talks about team-based learning in the healthcare field. And it is grounded in the theory and promises to strengthen healthcare education. This study showed that students work well by using critical thinking skills and being in high-functioning teams in medical field, which is what team-based learning is all about. The article mentioned important aspects that are essential components of the constructivist educational theory. This article is using team-based learning in different classroom settings to allow students to interact and be active in the classroom. The author states that team-based learning is a classroom paradigm which eliminates the standard lecture and shifts exams from an end unit exercise to a preparatory role. The article mentions activities such as in-class investigations, problems, groups, discussions, and collaborative examinations, and interactive data. It also mentions assessments to test knowledge using team-based learning and classroom environments centered around team-based learning. And the last article that I found is centered around problem-based learning and clinical problem solving. Problem-based learning was mentioned in the article, as well as student reflection, team teaching, and feedback, which are all very important in team-based learning and making sure that there is a smooth design and facilitation for the educator and the student. As a whole, I think that all of the articles demonstrated that team-based learning can be applied in all aspects of training, education, and medical field. It is a great theory to utilize, and it will continue to stay around for ages. All publications follow the principles of constructivist learning theory. As for recommendations, I did not capture much technology usage, and I wish that the use of technology would have been more commonly used in these, because working with groups and being a college student, you use technology more. And technology just allows students to stretch their thinking and develop team building skills. Negative aspects for this ID model. One of them is the difficulty of working in teams and people not cooperating or opening up. Team-based learning challenges both learners and teachers to adapt new and exciting education, and some might find this a bit difficult. And one of the negative aspects is just depending too much on one group member and receiving the same grade, even though it wasn't the same dedication or performance effects. And some of the positive effects of team-based learning is working in teams, which creates a great skill for students to have in their careers. Peer evaluation is important to have, and it is effective for accountability in team assignments. And it is also important to use in any settings such as education, training, healthcare, and law. And this is the theory model for team-based learning. And this is the sequence of events which they do occur. One is preparation. Students are assigned the material to study independently. 2, the readiness of assurance process. Students individually complete and apply multiple choice tests to assess understanding of the material. The tests usually use the immediate feedback assessment technique to maximize the potential for discussion, critique, and learning from the questions. And application exercises. The following classes usually work in teams and follow the 4S framework. And peer evaluation. Students are accountable when working in teams and have to provide feedback to each other. Overall, team-based learning has many positive elements, and I think that's what it makes a strong learning theory and has been used since 1979 and for many years to come. We can see it being used in the medical field, like I mentioned. It could be seen in accounting classes. It could also be seen in the workplace. So it is a very important theory that stretches thinking and creates team building skills. And these are my references. Thank you so much for watching.